Hiya Mark, great to meet up with you and do another session. It's been a while. One thing I'm really happy with is the fact that the club now, after such a layoff, beg your pardon, just take the sink off these swings. After such a layoff, the club isn't tumbling out in front of us from P4 to P6. So that's tons better than it was. See there, the shaft working between the forearms, getting down onto the right forearm. Hands or club slightly in at P6, can get in line with the hands but very rarely drifts out in front of the hands now, controlling that right knee flex nicely as well, hitting out at the golf ball much more with a plane line that's shifted to the right on your good days and is much less to the left on the bad days. So really liking the look of that. From setup to P4, what we've got is a situation where that left knee still doesn't move in enough. You can see this is the feel that I want you to have. I want the left knee to work in as well as forward, so that the hip centre is more stable, doesn't drift forward on us, so that we create a little bit better extension during the backswing and propel the butt of the club and accumulate a 4 a little bit further also. That allows us to have a linear move from the top. Problem we've got here is that we're so far out in front of it at P4 that all we can do really is turn. There is no sliding forward of the hips there because they've already moved forward a few inches during the backswing. So left knee moving in stabilises the centre of the hips and allows you to shift the hips forward from P4 to P5. On the way through, we'd want to control the rate of closure on the club face, and we do that by hitting a lot of shots where we're going to stop quicker, like you see here in the footage. So we get the follow through a little bit too long at times. We need to hit a lot of shots stopping at P9. As you do that, you'll learn in order for you to stop at P9 or stop even sometimes at P8, you're going to have to work the body differently. You're going to have to keep the arms on the rib cage for longer. In order for you to do that, you're going to have to learn to hip slide, extend and turn at the correct rate. So it was a really good task-driven exercise. Hit a lot of shots, stopping quicker. Little changes at setup, flattening out the left wrist, pushing the handle forward a little bit as well. I'd still like to see you stand a little bit square. I think you get a little bit too open with your feet, as you can see in that footage. Again, the feel that you're going to draw this right foot back is going to enable you to, if you will, level out your hips because of the situation with the leg being shorter on the left. In regards to driver, we've got a situation where we do need to shorten the swing, we do need to control the swing. I'd love to see you more in this position with driver long term going forward. But from here we're extending and tucking. We could do with driving the hips forward for longer so that we've got enough hip slide to offset that extension. You can see as you're extending too early, you're moving the heel of the club towards the ball, so a lot of strikes out the heel, which is where some of that cut is coming from. We've got you setting up out the toe on occasion, and you hit some wonderful shots. You can see they're not always coming across it when you hit the cut. So hips tucking under quite quick. There's a tendency to also just dump accumulator 3, start accumulator 3 releasing a little bit too soon as well. So to control the rate at which accumulator 3 is unloading and accumulator 2 is being dumped, and also encourage some hip slide with driver, what I'd like you to concentrate on is this drill where we're going to try and go to P7, maintaining our wrist hinge, allowing it to just diminish a little bit. See, when you do that, the linear movement is emphasised from P4 to P7. I don't necessarily want you standing on the golf course concentrating on more hip slide, but I do want us to have something in there, a way of feeling that move. The longer the hips slide forward, the more the club is kept in at 6, the more centred the contact will be, the rate at which accumulator 2 and 3 release will be controlled, and the strike will be less out of the heel. Lovely move. That emphasises everything that you need to do with driver. So driver, tidy it up at the top, keep the hips moving forward, get a more centred contact. With irons, sort that left knee out, get it working inwards more to balance out the hips and keep them centred rather than letting them drift forward. And hit a lot of shots stopping at P9 just to check out your tilts and also control the rate of closure on the club face. Good luck with it. I look forward to keeping in touch, playing golf in September finally, and charting your results in the coming months.